Next week is a really, really big week for Onpassive, and most of you all that are participating with Onpassive, those brand ambassadors, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Today, I wanted to talk about the economy of Onpassive. What is that? For me, the economy of Onpassive is Onpassive in its totality. Now, that's a really, really heady thought. I can tell you flat out then I know less about Onpassive than I know more about Onpassive. Onpassive is absolutely massive. But Mr. Mufara is coming out every week and he is painting us a picture. He's coming out with new things every single week. And if you're listening, if you're putting the picture together, you start to understand the economy of Onpassive. Before I get into that, I want to talk about a couple of individuals, actually quite a few. They come to me, and as we talk, they start the conversation with, I'm so glad this is almost over. And I can appreciate that. I know what they're talking about. They're talking about O Connect being commercially launched to the world and everything start to flow. I get that. But for me, I just have to smile because they're it's so far from the real truth. It's almost funny. This is not, it's almost over with Onpassive. This is just the beginning of Onpassive. And when you start to understand the economy of Onpassive, you start to understand where you're at and the value thereof. And it is massive. And I want to paint a little picture for you. It'll get you thinking in a way that will keep that excitement every single day. Mr. Mufara is coming out every day and he's sharing stuff with us every week, whatever the time frame is. In the last 3 or 4 days, Mr. Mufara has come out and shared a couple things with us. He shared 2 brand new products. This is above and beyond everything we know about all the O's, the O Mail, the O Net, the O Connect, the O Staff, the O Academy, all of the O's that are out there. This is above and beyond that. And the 2 products that Mr. Ash talked about are multi-billion dollar markets. This is massive. Each one of these could be a standalone business. This is Onpassive. Could be a standalone business on their own. But with Onpassive, it's just another market for them. That's how massive Onpassive is. I can't talk about one, and I'll tell you why. Mr. Mufara came on a very relaxed forum. It was very informal, just people talking. And I love this about Mr. Mufara. He loves to share good news, and he just couldn't help himself. He talked about a product that is absolutely revolutionary, the technology revolutionary, the market absolutely massive, multi-billion dollar market. And he talked about it very nonchalantly. This is what Onpassive is doing. This is what we have. Now, I won't mention that product because I know sometimes he does this and the corporate side isn't ready to release that particular product. And I will respect that. I won't talk about that product. But believe me, when I heard what Mr. Mufara said, I was flabbergasted. I went, are you kidding me? This market is so massive, and it's typical Ash Mufara. It's typical Onpassive. It's typical what they do every single day. And this is going to continue to happen over the next weeks, months, years, decades to come. That's how big Onpassive is. That is the economy of Onpassive. I will talk about, again, the 2 products in the last 5 days. I will talk about one of them. And again, this is painting the picture of that ecosystem of Onpassive. And the product I want to talk about is a product that really no one has thought about. It's something they're going to have to do, but they didn't think about it in terms of how big a market it is, or could we take over that market, or could we dominate that market? And that product is KYC. It is the O KYC, Know Your Customer. And it's a way to identify who you're working with. And if you're collecting money or sending money, you know that you're collecting it from the right individual and you're sending it to the right individual. And initially, when I thought about the KYC, that's how I thought about it. It's something that's necessary, not a big deal. Everybody does it. But what I learned is these companies that do KYC, and more companies are doing a KYC, know your customer, especially on the social media platforms, because there are so many accounts there that really belong to nobody. They're put up there. They don't even know how many people they have in their organization. So they're doing the KYC, and the KYC can cost anywhere from $1 to $7. Now, if you're someone like Facebook that has a billion accounts, maybe a billion people, although I doubt it very seriously, that's a ton of money. And if you can do the KYC, and they don't do the KYC themselves, they put it out for other people to do for them. They farm it out. That's a lot of money, $7 billion. Now, I've learned that the KYC can cost anywhere from $1 to $7. That's a lot of money when you're talking about volume. So Mr. Mufareh, in his mad mind, with his tech team in their mad mind, they got together and go, well, we have to do a KYC for all those individuals participating with Onpassive. Why don't we do our own? Madness, absolute madness. I don't know how long it took them, probably not very long at all, because they're so good at what they do. But today we have OKYC for those individuals coming in, participating with Onpassive. You'll have to do that as we go in, activate our accounts, click a button, become an independent reseller of the IT product. Okay? Now, it doesn't end there. OKYC is at its price is so reduced that these companies throughout the world are going to come to Onpassive for the OKYC so they can save tons and tons of money. This is absolutely genius. This is Onpassive. It is revolutionary, brand new technology. This is what Mr. Mufareh does. This is what his tech team does. This is what the whole team in the corporate side of Onpassive does. This is the way they think. They think outside the box. They bring things to the table that will benefit Onpassive, and in the end will benefit you and I as those individuals participating with Onpassive. This gives you an inkling. It gives you a glimpse. It paints a little picture of the economy of Onpassive. And again, the economy of Onpassive for me is Onpassive in its totality. Now, there are things coming I don't even know about that will make such a loud noise as they release it commercially to the world. It's going to be unbelievable. These are things we don't know about. This is the economy of Onpassive. This is what Onpassive does. And as these things start to happen in the next 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, three, and I think this is going to go for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 decades. I really do. That's how innovative Onpassive is. That's how different Onpassive is. That's how different the structure, the corporate structure, and the structure for those individuals participating with Onpassive is. And all of this stuff, it benefits us. It's even better than this. Again, the economy of Onpassive. You know, when you think about marketing and you think about, okay, we need to go out and get this group of people and this group of people, a few people over here, a few people over here, and over time, as things go viral, things add up and it gets very, very large. Well, yeah, Onpassive is doing that, but that's the small things Onpassive is doing. Think about Dr. Susan bringing in a country. Not a few individuals, not a niche, not this or that, but a whole country. And the really, really cool thing about it is the country sought Onpassive out. Why? Because the countries around the world are seeing what Mr. Mufareh has put together, are seeing how revolutionary it is. They're seeing how it's going to help humanity, how it's going to change lives, how individuals coming into Onpassive can actually get excited about what they're doing and how they're living and how they're going to be living in the future. There are countries that are seeing what Onpassive is doing right now. They want to be part of it. And when you have something as unique as Onpassive, it becomes very, very easy. And Ash has said this many, many times, we become the hunted. And Dr. Susan is going to Egypt to talk to the president of Egypt. Now, Dr. Susan is an absolute superstar. She's a big hitter. She's not intimidated by talking to individuals in power. It's what she's done her whole life. So she's a perfect ambassador of Onpassive. But as as these countries start to understand Onpassive, what we're doing, it's just a no-brainer. They're going to come in. Again, it is Onpassive. It is the economy of Onpassive. So when you start to put the picture together and you start to see the magnitude of what Mr. Mufara has done, what the tech team has done, what the entire corporate side of Onpassive has done, what the individuals participating with Onpassive have done, you start to see something that is so unique, so rare, you have to be there. And I'll end with this. Again, I know there are a lot of individuals that are seeing what's happening in Onpassive today that are not participating. And I'll tell you flat out, don't worry about it. Next week, Onpassive is going to come out with OConnect. They're going to give it to those participating with Onpassive, and then shortly after that, they're going to release it commercially to the world. When that happens, you will have the opportunity to come in and participate with Onpassive. What does that mean? It hasn't changed. Onpassive is going to bring you in. It is self-funding. Onpassive will come in. They'll go to work for you. They'll bring in customers. They'll sell those customers. As those customers come in and use the products, they'll put those commissions underneath each individual that's participating with Onpassive, those independent resellers of the IT product. Onpassive is going to do the work for you. It is not a free ride. You have to come in. You have to participate. You have to do what Mr. Mufar asks you to do, and from there, Onpassive will go to work for you. That is what's coming for those individuals that are not in Onpassive right now, that are not participating with Onpassive right now. Don't worry about it. It's coming. You're going to be able to come in. You're going to be able to participate. You will not be disappointed. It is because of the economy of Onpassive, the totality of Onpassive, which I only know a very, very small part, which is really, really scary. That's why this is so heady. I don't know how much I know. A percent, maybe 2%, maybe 3%. I don't know. And you think about that, and I know, I mean, like most of those individuals participating with Onpassive, I know quite a bit about Onpassive. But when you think about it, I know nothing, and that's coming right behind us as we launch OConnect to the commercially to the world. Everything is coming right behind it. So this is Onpassive. This is the picture of Onpassive. It is the economy of Onpassive. Very, very exciting place to be. You do not want to be anyplace else. And if you're not in yet, don't worry about it. Very, very shortly, you're going to be able to come in, become an independent reseller of the IT product, and then get ready because everything changes. And from there, as always, I'll see each and every one of you at the top and inside. Take care. Bye.